All right, the live stream. There we go. Live stream is set up. We're going to be playing some Veilwraith here. Got some new equipment where we are actually looking down on the Canon camera up above with a boom stand. So I'm hoping this is going to be an amazing live stream. But first, I gotta send this out to people on the Twitter so that way they know what's up. And that's probably something I should have taken care of first, but we'll go ahead and do that now. What's happening? We are live streaming some Veilwraith gameplay on YouTube right now. See, you're getting the authenticity here with the Cardboard Herald. We're dropping the link right now and putting that in there. And while I'm talking about this, I should say, if you guys want to give feedback, interact with us, do anything that you want to do, you could do that on the Discord, and that would be amazing. There's a link to the Discord in the video description. And let's go ahead and kick it off with some Veilwraith. So this is a new All or Nothing joint. We're actually going to be jumping into Mission 3. We're not too worried about spoilers here because, well, I mean, there's not really that much story to the game, so to speak. We are going to go through setup and everything, so that way you know what's what as we play. I'm not necessarily going to do a full explanation unless that's something that anyone asks for in the live chat, but I am definitely going to kind of walk through my decision making and what I do. We're going to need our power tokens off to the side here. We'll put them right here so everyone can see. This is the one upgrade that I have for the game. I have a game trays little subdivider here. It keeps track of my ribbons, which are my continues in the event that I fail a mission. I'm on mission 3, and I only have 3 of 5 extra lives left, so you can tell that I've played 4 games so far. I've failed on each of the first 2 missions once and then proceeded to win. We got our crystals needed for delineating some boss stuff. All right, we got our main Veilwraith deck, and let's get some of this out of the way here. Nice. I think this can just go there for the moment. And we're going to need to set up our actions. We got 3 actions, which conveniently are in alphabetical order to start with if you want to go with the default start. So we got our E, we got our F, and we got our I. And these guys are going to exist kind of in the middle of the table for now. We're going to get up our round phase summary. And then we have our deck of memory cards. But not like the memory cards that would always fail on my PlayStation 1. A very different kind of memory cards. These are the memories from which my Wraith draws all of his supernatural capabilities in order to defeat and overcome the challenges of the Veil that I'm a Wraith of, I guess. All right. Got those over there, and we're going to continue setup until we get to the point where we can remove everything we don't need from the table. All right, so we are on Vignette 3, and I am setting up our deck of obstacles here. I have all the cards in my hand. We don't need our advanced memories. Those can go back in the box. The other vignettes and other actions and everything can go back in the box. And we need the Crazed Soul stack. That's these guys. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. 2, 3, and 4 is what they're going to go into. And then we need our Enforcers, 4 of them. And we need Eremites. 4 of them. You better believe we got a full play set of Eremites. This ain't no original Arkham Horror sort of deck where you buy the base set and you only have a half play set. We got a full 4 Eremites, guys. That's what we need. We don't need any fighters. What am I doing? I'm getting distracted by live chat and stuff. Or messages over there in Discord. All right, hobgoblins. We need some hobgoblins. Got 2 of those. We need some nymphs. It's a good thing these are in alphabetical order in order to make them all show up. We need some pariahs. We're going to need 2 of those. And then all 4 seraphs. And all the rest of this can go back in the box, and the box can go away. So I mentioned this earlier before we were having some of our live stream testing woes. We are playing Mission 3 here. I'm on Mission 3 in the campaign, having lost Mission 1 and 2 once, and then succeeded against Mission 1 and 2 each. But part of this game is that it's not really a story game. There's objectives in these vignettes, but I'm not really spoiling anything that you'd be up against. So I don't think you have to worry about that too much. So going to finish setup here by having our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of keys. We're going to have our crazed souls, so crazy, in stacks 2, 3, and 4. Those are our bosses. And then all the threats that they said we were going to have to go up against, they are going to go into the stacks such that all the stacks are of equal amount. We need even stacks. If you ever thought we were going to have odd stacks, you were out of luck, my friend. We got even stacks in Veilwraith. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 there, and then I'm just going to start going through all these suckers. Oh, look at that. Stream health. Winding up with an extra card, which is concerning. We didn't want to have that. So this is part of the game, part of what we did. So why do we have 1 extra? Did we add too many pariahs, too many nymphs? We need to rectify that situation because it should be even stacks all abound. I'm leaving the crazed souls on the bottom, and I'm leaving the keys there. But we should have how many eremites? How many seraphs? We should have 4 seraphs in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mysteriously, we have... Aha! Some of the cards didn't get mixed in. There we go. Solved. Okay. It was a lack of cards, not too many cards. See, I'm behind this microphone, and it's like just a whole situation to be back here. It's a lot of pressure. You know, I'm not a professional live streamer. I'm new to this. I'm figuring it out. But we're growing. We're developing. We're changing. It's what we do. It's good to have ambitions. Like, if you just allow yourself to only do the things that you are naturally good at, then you're never going to grow, right? You know, you need some agitation in your life. And if that agitation is not stacking the Veilwraith cards correctly as you play, then that's a challenge for sure. All right, we should have 5 cards. We should have 5 cards. 5, 5, and 5. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to shuffle these doggies up. I hope you guys really love the setup on things. If you hate setup, I want some comments. I want you to be able to let me know. This is kind of like keeping you company as you could be doing this at the same time that I'm doing it in your own game. This is educational, tutorializing the whole Veilwraith situation. Now, if you don't like that, I guess you can always skip ahead. Maybe you have already skipped ahead and you're not getting this illustrious conversation that we have going here. I don't know how much shuffling you do. Like, if you were doing this yourself, would you, like, super shuffle? And would you, like, come up with some cool Magic player style shuffling techniques? Okay, we're all set up. And we're just going to go down the cards here. We have no starting hand because in Veilwraith, you start with your powers alone. We are going to need our big old power tokens, though. That's for sure. Definitely need those doggies. And then I'm going to put our vignette over there. Our power tokens. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And so I'm going to have a sip of coffee. That's the stuff. Late night coffee. I'm actually old, so I have to have decaf. I'm like 375 years old at this point, so the caffeinated stuff just finally caught up with me. All right, in this game, we're going to start with going through the entirety of it. So threat 1, we're going to flip our first adversary that we're going to have to deal with, who is a Seraph, whose threat is that they need to be influenced here. If you take a look at this card, let me see if I can get the focus going on this card here. Oh, geez. Okay. Come on. Come on, Cannon. Oh, I know. We're going to go right there. There we go. Check that out. Okay, so the influence is what we're up against on this card, and we have some text here that upon defeat we're going to place into the discard pile, and has drawn. Discard this card and gain 1 spirit. So if you convince them to hop into your discard pile, and then you draw them later on, they're going to be awful helpful for you. But you're going to lose 2 health a turn if you leave them in play. So this guy's up front. That's number 1 thing. Then we're going to draw our 1 memory to hand, which we got Memory of Knowledge. Swaps the position of any 2 actions here, which could be helpful. But we need a 4 influence in order to take this down. So we don't really have the capabilities of doing that yet. Were there any passives here? Just the Crazed Soul. No other passives in the vignette. Okay. So I know I need to make sure that influence is up higher. So I'm going to use my 1 use per turn in order to have the influence have more of these sweet power tokens on it. So I've pumped up an action, and I'm actually going to take an action because neither of these can take on the Seraph, needing the influence. I'm just going to use 1 of them. I'm going to use the Explore and leave it down there in order to draw a card. Any action as an alternate can be used to draw a card. It even says on it, use Explore action or draw 1 memory. So on your turn, you're essentially using 1 action unless something allows you to take multiple actions, and then you're tilting 1 of your actions in order to pump it up so it's stronger next time. I have a strength of 1, 2, and 3 on each of these actions right now, and this one I can spend this power token in order to do a strength 4 action from it if I do a full exhaustion. Otherwise, tilting just increases power. And we'll get to the repercussions of using an action next turn. Okay, so we went ahead and did that. We're going to do our end turn here, the Spirit. We're going to lose the 2 health, the 2 Spirit from the Seraph remaining in play. Straighten everything. Discard down to our hand size if we had more than 6. And these reset. And then we're going to do a new round. And our new adversary is a Key of Valor. So 1 of the 5 keys that we're trying to get in order to escape through the portal before the Archfiend gets us. Now, let's go ahead and draw our card. we have some options here. I have the ability to draw some more memories. I could pump up my explore action, which sounds pretty good. But right now, I think the main thing is I'm going to take this action, and whenever you take an action, it slides to the lowest spot and then pushes up all remaining actions, so they are now stronger actions. And I was able to do a 3+1 strength for 4 to take on the Seraph, who Seraph says that upon defeat, put it in the discard pile. Great. It's going over here into the discard pile. And then I'm going to prepare for eventually trying to take on that key by I'm going to pump up the explore action. And there's nothing that we take damage for. And so then we continue to play. We get on to the next turn. Oh, another Seraph. Oh, look at that. But this one's only a 3 influence in order to take on, which is kind of cool because we can do some swifty stuff here. All right, so I have the Memory of Knowledge card, which here we go. This guy says that we can swap the positions of any 2 actions, which is going to be particularly helpful down here because we're going to use that. Swap these 2, get that influence at the top spot. Now I have a 3 power influence. I'm going to use it to defeat this Seraph before it does anything bad to me. It goes into my discard pile because that's how the Seraph rolls. And then it's like a fallen angel. Oh, it's so thematic. This game just oozes theme. And then all those slide up. And now I'm going to make this even more powerful. Explore is pumped up. And we don't lose any life or anything. And move on to the next turn. Okay. Now we have, the Pariah. The Pariah sucks. He also goes into our discard pile, which is kind of disrupting our whole deck building efficiency engine thing. The Pariah doesn't really do anything in life, but in death, man, is he a pain in the butt to deal with. Because when drawn, you just discard that card. And it's like a wasted card. But he's only 1 influence for this Pariah that we're happening to deal with. So we draw our card for the turn. We got a bunch of cards in our hand. And what do we want to do? I think it's a simple action here. We're going to once again pump up our Explorer, preparing for the key, and use our fortunate 1 influence for the Pariah, who's going into our discard pile, losing nothing. And next turn, really lucked out by having that Key of Valor here. Okay, we got the Enforcer. We got a hand of cards. I just drew Memory of Redemption, which can pump up one of these here. But the main thing that I want to take on this turn is I'm going to use my 3 Strength Explorer with 1, 2, 3 tokens. So I have a 6 Strength Explorer. And I'm now using this Memory of Home for a 7 Strength Explorer in order to get one of the 5 keys we need to escape. This key is ours. Look at that bad nanner. So this key can be used once per game in order to take an additional action, and you can also flip it upside down in order to take the other action to gain a spirit, a health. And those are not mutually exclusive. You could do both of those, but if you flip it over, you're done. Done deal. So you want to take advantage of that extra action. So this is an important resource. I'm going to put this over here to the side so that way I have access to all my unused keys. Let's put some power tokens right here. I don't want to invade the play space too much, but I got to keep on top of it for all the streaming goodness. Now, we went ahead and did that. This Enforcer is kind of looking threatening. So do I have anything that would allow me to, like, I could take an extra action and I could kill that Enforcer right now. and I didn't have to remove the power token from when he came into play because my I had no power tokens on fight. But that's actually a pretty good idea. And explore slides down. So actually that puts me in a perfect situation. The explorer slid down because we had the key obtainage over here, and now fortunately that made our fight stronger, which is enough in order to take on this enforcer. So I'm going to turn my key in order to give myself one extra action, and I'm going to use my fight in order to take this guy down. So long, fighter. And then I lose no health. I remain at our beautiful 18 health. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah. So blurry, not auto-focusing. There we go. There's our focus. I have to touch the camera to make the thing. You know you love it. All right, remaining at 18. And new round. Notice the key doesn't straighten. Never straightens. Oh, man. More Seraphs. Holy cramoli. Holy Jehoshaphat. This Seraph is at 6 influence in order to take on. That is a substantial Seraph. Anyone who said angels are easy did not meet her. Okay. What can we do in order to take this on? I can draw some more. I have a Memory of Redemption. It's 2 extra influence. So if I go like this is where the puzzle of the game kind of comes in. I'm going to pump up my influence action. I'm going to use my fight in order to draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still under hand limit. And using my fight, slid this down, which pushed the other ones up. And so even though I'm going to take 1 damage, and notice that the different Seraphs have different stats. This one is harder to defeat, but it does less damage to us every turn. I'm going to take 1 damage off of that Seraph. She hurts me. She hurts me so. And then I'm going to end my turn. I'm still under hand limit. Straighten all this. I'm going to flip another dog here. The Enforcer is going to remove one of my tokens from my fight action. I have no tokens on it, which is a good deal. All right, let's see here, Seraph. Okay. Memory of Redemption. 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Going to take that action. This Seraph is taken care of. Slides up. And I'm going to need some fight here, huh? Maybe I don't. I have a good, powerful memory. Anytime that a memory gives you 2 to one of your actions here, that's fairly substantial of the level 1 memory cards. So I'm actually going to leave my fight unpumped because I can get my combined 4 fight total through my memory here. And instead, I'm going to update my Explore, hoping to snag a key as soon as it comes out. That does mean that I am making the Enforcer deal a damage to me at the end of the round. I have 16 health. If I go out, if I get out of health, I'm dunsies. I'm a dunner, a goner, a done spook. That's what happens. Hashtag Wraith Life. All right, Pariah came out, and this guy is another one who hops in my discard pile. So I have a lot of disruption on things going on, but the Seraphs actually help you out. What was that again? We place in your discard pile, and then if you draw it, discard this spirit and discard this card and gain 1 health. So that's not the worst. Gaining health isn't bad. Okay. Getting a new memory. Oh, we have a lot of exploration going on here. So when we do get a key, we are pretty set up. Let's fight the Enforcer for 4. So long, Enforcer, samurai guy. So Kurosawa with all that black and white going on. And in order to get ready to handle the Pariah, I'm going to get another token on my influence. And still doing good on hand size. So I'm going to straighten all that. I take 1 damage. And new turn. My lord, these Seraphs are unbelievable. Maybe I should have done more shuffling. Okay. Then let's see. I draw a card. I guess that happens from time to time. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards in the basic card set. We have a card. This is in the basic memories, where you can upgrade to new memories, but this one allows you to take additional actions. So you can take 2 actions in a turn, and that gives you so much flexibility and so much trickiness that you can do. And especially because you can play as many memories as you want to turn. Oh, it's so good. So good. All right. Dale Scott over in the live chat. This game looks like it would come in a death metal album. I know, right? I mean, so many things came to mind as soon as I started playing this, but not necessarily death metal. Like, I started listening to Leonard Cohen's You Want It Darker, his last album before he died. Like, dude, it kind of has the monochromatic and slightly sepia tone look on the front of it. But you also, like, Ghost. It would be perfect to listen to, like, Meliora or Prelude. Prelude would be another great album to listen to while playing this. Unfortunately, I feel like a bunch of lawyers would come after me if I was listening to things on live stream. Do people listen to things on live stream? Is that cool? Is that something that happens? I don't know. Dale, what heavy metal band do you think you would listen to while playing this game? Now, what am I going to do about our Seraph and our Pariah? Both of them require influence, so I'm not going to be able to take them both out. I can, by default, pump my influence by 1 here. And I can actually discard 2 memories at the same time in order to pump anything else by the lesser of the combined numbers at the bottom. So at the beginning, in early stages of the campaign, you're for the most part going to be pitching 2 cards to pump something by 1. Well, I hate to do this right now, but I'm going to use this to draw a card as its alternate action, which pushes my influence up here to 3, and I could potentially make it 4, and I want to do 5 in order to take on that Seraph because she's going to do more damage to me per turn. So I'm going to use the Memory of Heart, use an additional available action, and the Memory of Honor. Honor! This guy's got a cool beard thing going on here. The face, I don't know. I like Color Nothing's face artwork most of the time, but this guy's face, there's something up with this. I do like the beard, though, and the shaggy, kind of greasy look on Memory of Honor. But that's going to pump this to 3, 4, 5, and that's going to take on our Seraph. It goes to my discard pile, slides over. Yeah, Dale. Yeah, it's all about that Ghost. And the dude's name is Tobias Forge behind all the Ghost stuff. I mean, that is the perfect death metal name. I'm pretty sure that's his actual name, but there's so much about Ghost that is the mysticism of the band that it could all be made up. I mean, yeah, I know he has like Papa Emeritus and all that kind of stuff as far as like his personas, but I think his actual name is Tobias Forge. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. Because I haven't pumped up any other action this turn, I'm going to pump up Fight. Pariah is going to deal a single damage to me, putting me at 14 health. And then don't have to discard. All of this is going to straighten up. And new turn. All right. Crazed Soul, the first of the boss guys. So these guys, if you'll notice here, they have 2... different challenges. We have to do an influence and a fight on them. Some things will have 2 here and they don't have the star listed and you have to do one or the other. No. Crazed Soul says, forget that. You not only have to talk to me with that influence, then you have to fight me. Or do the opposite order. I guess after you fight him, he is even more mad until you console him because he's having a tantrum like a baby. But he has Shrieking. When played, lose 1 spirit. This is a Shrieking Cray Soul, and that dude is jacked. So I'm going to lose that spirit right away, putting me at a dangerous 13. And then I'm going to draw my card and pray that it's something good. I can just gain a health. I can return that health. Oh, goody. Okay, what am I going to do? See, this is when the game gets good, is when you're really puzzling out all the different things that you can do in order to confront all the horrific challenges in front of you. I gain a life if I killed this Cray Soul, which is good. And he's going to deal 2 damage to me a turn. I don't have anything that's going to let me take 2 actions back to back in my hand right now. I do have the ability to draw a couple memories. I got to take advantage of this fight while it's up here. I can't dismiss that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Memory of Might. And I'm going to do 3, 4, 5. And that's going to take care of El Damijo on the Cray Soul. And now we just have to talk to him, which is going to slide these things up. See, I didn't want to do the influence to like pump that up to take care of the Pariah or the Cray Soul, because I didn't want to burn all the cards in order to get up there. But I am going to take 3 damage this turn if I don't do something. But I think I might have to. You know, I have this Memory of Elements, which allows me to draw 2 cards. And because I'll still remain under hand limit, I'm going to draw both of those in case it gives me some more options. Which it didn't. I just have a bunch of stuff that's going to pump up my jams, all of my actions here, which is fine, but they're upon using those actions, so I don't really necessarily need them right now. Instead, I'm going to start gathering my influence, getting ready to orate to this Cray Soul, making sure that he understands all of the burdens that I bear as a Veilwraith. Now, take my 3 damage, putting me at half health. 10. I'm down. I'm faltering. I'm falling. As much as a spooker like me can be. Straighten everything out. And now we have key number 2, a Key of Love. The Love Key, which needs 4. It's actually kind of perfect, except for it's not killing all of the things that I need it to kill. But getting this will allow me to take an additional action and slide this Explorer down. So I think I am going to do that, but I need to draw my card for a turn. Aha! Swap the position of any 2 actions. Okay, now we're in business. Check this out. So our Explore action, 3, 4, is going to get the Key of Love. Key of Love is pretty sick, because it not only allows me to have that bonus action that all keys do, but this one has the flip ability to add a power token to the influence action, which I just so happen to need a lot of influence. So I'm going to put this over here. This other key, I'm going to use its flip ability now just so I don't forget about it. It gives me 1 extra health. Now the Key of Love that we just obtained, I'm going to turn it so I have that extra action. And then 3, 4 is going to tackle the Crazed Soul. Spending that. Crazed Soul is a goner. I gain a health. Boss is done. And I'm just going to gain 1 fight. The Pariah is going to deal the damage to me, because them's the breaks. I took down a Cray Soul. I got a Key of Love. I mean, come on, sue me. I can't do everything all at once. That was a pretty sweet turn and a sweet turnaround. There's a couple more Cray Souls in the deck, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cards. So rather than discard, I can play. It's specifically in the rules, because Tristan Hall thinks about these things. Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan Hall has played a lot of games, and it's like, when you are at 7 cards, you can discard or you can play. memory limit, play/discard down to 6 memories, because Tristan Hall is a gent. I know this from personal experience. I interviewed him on the channel. By the way, if I haven't mentioned it already, this Veilwraith game, I put up a review today, so you can actually hear like my much more put together thoughts on this game in a sequence fashion, with actual articulation and smart things. It's almost like you're watching an entirely different person. Now, we already did all that. We already straightened. I think we already did the damage. Keep me honest, live stream, if I didn't do the damage, but I think I did the damage for the pariah already. And then flipping, here's our next key. The keys were in close succession. I think we're in good shape. We're gaining momentum in this game. So now, hey, Krish Patel is back. Krish was on another live stream that we did for Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Welcome to the show, Krish. Love to see you here. Okay, so now pariah is my number one focus. The keys are necessary in order to win, and I want to win, but I don't want to continue taking damage, so I'm going to go after the pariah first if I can help it. My explorer action is up higher, which is nice, but the explorer action could be even higher if I use my memory of knowledge from hand, swap these two bad nanners, and then we're going to use this key's ability to flip add one power token to an influence action. And now we're going to do 3, 4, sliding this down because we took the action from it, killing the pariah. Pariah is going to the bottom of the deck. I swear, this guy is like 100% Jon Snow. Like, look at this and tell me that isn't Kit Harington going like, oh, I don't want it. 100%. I should contact Tristan Hall and be like, yo, where did you draw the influence from this guy? There has to be some sort of conscious or unconscious correlation between the pariah and Kit Harington as Jon Snow in a Game of Thrones. Anyway, into the discard pile. What's the local time here? In Alaska, in Juneau, Alaska, we are at 9:41 p.m. at night. Where are you at, Krish? What's the local time in your spot? What's the jam in your area, your neck of the woods, the neck of the world? I don't even know what part of the world you're in. Okay, so now what do I want to do? The key of power, I only have 3 here, and I can't take an additional action because I don't have any cards in my hand. Oh, actually, I do. I just drew this Memory of Heart. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to clean up the board right now. I'm using Memory of Heart to take an additional action for 3, and I need 2 more influence or exploration, which my Memory of Veil is going to allow me to do that. Got myself a 3rd key, 3 out of 5. That's 60%. I'm done. Dubai, 9:41 a.m. That is awesome. It is exactly a 12-hour difference. You're in a completely different area, Krish. The opposite of the world from me, at least I guess in, specific lines of the world that correlate to time zones. Never been to Dubai. Oh, and I took all these actions. I'm going to pump up this fight before I end the turn. Okay. Here, no damage loss. Going to flip up another one of these. We got our other Crazed Soul. Now, immediately, just like the other guy, he's like, yo, you killed my brother. I'm going to make you lose 1 spirit as soon as I come into play. And he needs 4 fight and 4 influence in order to take on... and when I did that Explorer action, this should have shifted down. So there. Yeah. We're all good. Last thing I did was the Explorer action on the Key of Power. And let's see. We'll draw our memory. Got a Memory of Honor. And I think we're going to keep this simple. We're going to do our 4 fight. Discarding only 1 of those power tokens because we only need to discard 1. And then That's going to take care of the fight portion. That slid influence up, which influence now I have 3. And with this new Memory of Honor and using our 1 additional action from our Key of Power, we're going to take that action, tackle this guy, gain a health. The health he just took away from me, I took it back. I said, you know what, fool? That is my spirit. And this influence goes right up here. And that's back to Ghost. Ghost has a song called Spirit. Yeah, you should visit. There's a place called Back Games. They sell a ton of board games. Yeah, I would love to go. I've spent a little bit of time in Asia, actually. I was born in the Philippines, believe it or not. And I lived in New Delhi, India for a couple of years as well. Let's see here. I'm trying not to be a dumb American, just making everything exactly the same. I don't know what kind of Dubai is certainly a much different place, but let's see, how many miles from Dubai to New Delhi? We're talking, because I want to know something like geographically, because I'm not coming up with miles. I really shouldn't get distracted and go on tangents, but that's the kind of stuff you go on to Cardboard Health, because Alaska is expansive. Like, I'm talking super expansive. Yeah, I'm just getting flights. And I was going to see if going from Uktiavik, Alaska to the very bottom of Alaska, let's say somewhere like Sitka, or Ketchikan, Alaska, would be the difference that we're looking at there. I don't know the difference between the United Arab Emirates and India in general. So I'm probably just conflating everything, which is terrible because I lived in Asia for the first several years of my life. But I guess that's what happens when you have the American education system to teach you your geography. Okay. Your uncle is from New Delhi. That's awesome. Did I visit the Parliament building there? It's nice. No, I don't recall going to the Parliament building. I lived there actually as a kid, but we would go. We lived on Embassy, and we would go with some regularity. Oh, and I want to pump up this action. See, I'm getting distracted with all these other things here, but it's good distraction. We would go to all over. We'd go to Haryana fairly regularly. My dad would regularly work in Pakistan. And then we would go driving all over the countryside. We'd visit Old Delhi from time to time. And then, of course, I have memories of going to the Taj Mahal and that kind of stuff. But most of my life has been lived in Alaska. All right, new turn. Let's take on these raids. Or actually, I'm the Wraith. Or maybe we're all Wraiths inside of the Veil. Okay, so the Eremite here has 3 different potential things. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This guy, he does not have the asterisk next to his 3 possible methods of overcoming him. Any action can be used to overcome him. And you just have to do one of them, as opposed to the ones with the asterisks, not to be confused with Asterix the Gaul of the infamous comics, which actually I started reading when I was over in New Delhi, and my brother and I were obsessed with them because European comics were so much more accessible in India than American comics because of the British influence. Anyway, back to this. These here... without the asterisks, you can use any of them to defeat them. With asterisks, you have to get both of them, like those freaking crazy souls. All right, so Eremite, he's got balanced. When played, discard 1 power token. Don't love it. Let's go ahead and discard this fight power token, which leaves me with enough in order to take on this guy with Explorer. I first want to draw my memory card, though. All right, boom. That's going over to here. And that's going over to here. kill him before he does anything, I'm actually making really good pace on this game. Oftentimes, you can kind of get yourself into a behind situation where it just explodes to out of control up there with all of the different threats that you're going to have to face. Influence seems to be the thing that I'm having the hardest time dealing with, so I'm going to pump that for this turn. But in this game, I seem to be ahead of the worst offenders. All right, Enforcer makes me discard a fight power token. I don't have any discarding capabilities there because I have no power tokens on that. So we're just going to use fight. Oh, he needs 3 influence. Well, it's a good thing I pumped up my influence. Boom. And that guy is a goner. And while I'm here, I'm going to take a look at my hand and see what sort of capabilities I have. I know that there's going to be more of those Cray Souls, at least one that'll come up, but I got plenty of fight in my hand. So instead, I'm going to pump up my Explore action. You can't pump up the action that you've used as its proper action. They always have to be separate things. So again, it's that puzzle-ish element that that makes this game interesting and fun. And pumping up an action doesn't slide them around. Okay. So that's going to be it for that turn. And now, oh, come on. Eremite might make me discard another power token. I hate it. I don't like it. And this guy, he needs 4 fight in order to defeat. He's making me burn my cards. And now I'm at 7 cards, and because I'm out of cards, I'm going to end up having to shuffle these cards, which has all of the non-memory cards back in their hand. That's not going to be good for business. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Memory of Might in order to tackle. Dale Scott, New Delhi to Dubai is 1438 miles as the crow flies. I love it. Let's see here. Let's get back onto our geography tangent. We're going to say, what diameter of Alaska? Okay. So our land area is... okay, land area is 586,412 square miles, and the diameter east to west 2,400 miles, north to south 1,420. So again, from the very tippy top of northern Alaska to the very south is the difference from Dubai to New Delhi. I was pretty spot on there, 1438 to 1420. One state, the largest state in the United States, encompasses this vast swath of expanse, I guess, that really skews our perspective on differences. A lot of people think Alaska is only one thing, and I try to remind people that the difference between Alaska's like northern areas, even like central interior Alaska, to where I live in southeast Alaska now, is like the difference between northern Washington to like Southern California. You have a very big climate difference and temperate difference between those two areas. Okay, back to the Veil, where there is not as much of a climate difference. We just took care of this Eremite. Krish, I'm loving this. I'm loving this interaction. It may look very cool walking through. Aren't I technically Russian? Because, yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm not indigenous to Alaska in the first place, but Alaska was bought from Russia, but that was ages ago, and its statehood was over 50 years ago, and the purchase of Alaska was even much before that. But Russian influence is still pretty prevalent here in Alaska. That fight goes down. We're going to get our I'm going to get my Explore up because I want to be able to tackle any keys that come up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. this here. Yeah, we still have a lot of Russian Orthodox influence, particularly here in Southeast Alaska, where they're the oldest communities of like Western influence. There's lots of indigenous people, Alaska Natives, who have ancient communities in Alaska. Sites of great heritage and importance. But as far as Western influence, some of the oldest influence was the Russians, and then, of course, the Alaskan miners. And they, in these old settlements, we have a lot of Russian Orthodox churches, and that expanse is still felt in extremely rural Alaskan villages as well. How cool is it that you are in Dubai and I am here in Alaska, and we're on a live stream together? That is buck wild. No matter how you slice it, that's pretty crazy. Okay, we got another enforcer. Yeah, this guy's easy. This guy's easy sauce. And I have another card in hand. Enforcer makes me discard a token from my fight action, which I have none to discard. He needs 4 influence. This is going to be no, I don't need to do it. I thought I was going to have to discard some cards just for their combined value here, but I'm going to take the influence action, pump it by 2 using that memory, killing this homie. He goes over there, and then I'm back down to 6 cards. We're in good shape. In some ways, this is actually a little too easy. I wanted to be a little bit more nail-biting. I did get down to half health so far. Here's our Kia Sight. That's going to be easy to take on now because we got 4 and 5, 6. Memory of Veil. Well, I guess it is the Memory of Veil. I'm the Veilwraith. Am I remembering current times, or have I spent more time in the Veil? It's really interesting because I thought these were memories of life, but this is a memory of Veil. It's also got a scantily clad fantasy chick, but that's not too unusual for the rest of this game. And yeah, I don't know. Memory of Veil. I actually like thinking about like what these memories are and who this wraith is. It's really maybe not opaque. Opaque isn't the right word, but it is mysterious. And I think that Tristan Hall did come up with a specific theme and probably what this means to the overall Kilforth universe, because this is set in the shadows of Kilforth and the gloom of Kilforth game world, but this is like the ether, the beyond, and there's only like hints as to the true nature of this Veilwraith and what these memories are that imbue them with power as they get these keys. There's a little bit of story inside of there, and there's hints like even on the backs of the vignettes which make up our missions. This says here, let me get the autofocus going for us. There we go. Too close. Okay, let's get this here. Serene Lake saw the drownings and madness. Butcher suicides now are ripples of sadness. So that's hinting at something. That's some deep stuff. And I don't think it was just shoehorned in. I think there was some legit time spent on what are the characters of this world, and I like that they're like fragments, and it feels like there's something cohesive tying these together, maybe not in such a way that you actually can puzzle it out in any meaningful way, but like dreams, it feels like you can convey some sort of internal meaning amongst them. Anyway, I did 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to get this Kia Sight. Boom, done. And that goes here. And I need to pump something else up. I got a lot of fight in my hand still. I don't have a lot of influence, so I'm going to pump up my influence. And then that's going over here. And then let's go ahead and flip this. Anyone in live chat, Dale and Krish, who are hanging out with me here, you got some favorite games to play, tabletop games, video games, anything like that? You're just hopping in to enjoy some Veilwraith at this moment. Okay, Hobgoblin. So Hobgoblin, when he's played, you shuffle your discard pile into your deck, which is an interesting synergy, and could have been much more damaging earlier because you saw me get all those pariahs, you saw me get all of those seraphs, and the intent of the Hobgoblin is that you can get real nice and dicked, so to speak, by having a bunch of pariahs and seraphs shuffled into your deck at a much earlier stage, so you wouldn't be able to get ahead of the game, like I was saying earlier. So I'm glad that this Hobgoblin came out late, considering all the pariahs and seraphs that I now have shuffled into my deck. They're still going to be a problem, but they could have been shuffled in at an earlier stage, allowing me to not be able to keep up with things. As far as his own attack, he's only a fight of 3, so I could just handle him based off of my default strength. But I am going to draw a card, which I have draw some memories, use some extra action stuff. I'm going to discard this card to gain a health. This is the Memory of Creation. So, like, we got this lady creating a fairy. What's going on in here? I love the artwork, but, like, is this a memory of the Wraith themselves, or is this a memory of one of the denizens of the Veil that they actually interacted with, and they're acquiring these memories through the conflict in which they're having with one another? Like, I think the freedom and lack of explicit story allows you to interject so much of that yourself. And the incredibly high quality artwork and the tone, the black and white monochromatic thing, it invites you to do that. Like, you want to do that. It really evokes this dreaminess and this ethereal nature so well. Okay, so gain to health. We're going to fight a Gobbo. Hobgoblin, go over here. And we're not talking about Marvel Hobgoblins. That's just a regular Hobbo. And let's continue to, well, what do I have as far as Explorer? I have 3 Explorer in my hand. And I have a key that will pump up my Explorer action. So I'm going to pump up my Influence here. And then that's going to go there. All right, a Nymph. My first Nymph. First evers. Can take Fight or Influence. 4 Fight, 5 Influence. Distract, played, remove 1 power token from your Explorer action. I have none, so I'm glad that I put it over here. 5 or 4. And it's Fight or... well, I'm in good shape. I'm glad I have those power tokens. Here we go. Here's a Pariah. Outcast, defeat, place in your discard pile. Drawn, discard this card. Well, don't have to worry about discarding cards from handling it because Jon Snow just came up and warged right out of my hand. All right. We're going to use 3, 4, 5 Influence in order to take on this Nymph, killing it, dealing with the threat. Going to pump up my fight action. The Nymph was another one where it was an either or on having to defeat them. Okay. Hey, there's my crazed boy, my crazy sauce. My Crazed Soul, the last of the boss minions. So the victory conditions for this game are that I have to defeat or acquire all 5 of the keys and defeat any of the boss minions and then escape through the portal, which appears when all of the foes, the special foes, and the keys have been acquired and or defeated before the Archfiend comes into play, which he gets shuffled into the threat deck along with all the defeated threats when that deck runs out of cards. So hopefully I'll be able to acquire the key, the portal will appear, and we don't even have to worry about old Archfiend because he ain't joking around. He's nasty looking. He is particularly sinister, and he's happy about it. This guy just makes you automatically lose the game. You don't even fight him or anything. So we drew our guy, and I think I did have to discard last turn. That's a shame. I got so distracted by live stream. I guess I'll just discard the most recent card I drew. That's the fairest way that I can do about that, because the Pariah I thought would have put me over 7, but I had 7 cards in hand. Okay, so the Crazed Soul. Oh, no. I think that was last turn. The Pariah came out after the Nymph came into play. All right, the Crazed Soul. We're going to do our... Explorer does nothing for me here. This is a bad situation for Explorer to be at the front of the old memory pile. And Minecraft and chess. Now, those are some games. Faux show. I've been learning. I kind of missed the boat on Minecraft. And I've been learning it with my kid, and he has vastly outstripped me in Minecraft capabilities. He's like, move over, old man. I'll teach you how to make some sticky pistons. I'm like, what's a sticky piston? And he's like, let me give you an entire expose on sticky pistons. All right. With this guy, I got my actions are so weak, and I'm in a position where my memories are not doing me any justice. Okay, I got a couple draw 2 memory cards, which I'm just going to burn in order to see if I can get some boost to my actions, and if nothing else, I can discard a ton of actions in order to boost some of my stuff. Okay, so Seraph here is going to make me gain 1 spirit, and then I discard, going to 14. And now I got some significant options for me. So I'm going to switch the place of 2 actions. Okay, and that puts my influence at 3, which is a lot closer to that 5 that we need. And then we're going to use this Memory of Redemption. Redemption and honor. We're on like the full Zuko kick here, which gives us our 5 in order to defeat that Crazed Soul. I don't think I received that 1 damage when the Crazed Soul came into play. And then the 5 attack here, the 5 fight, the fight of Roonies, is going to come from using Archaea Sight for an extra action, and then 3, 4, and 5 fightsies. All right, boom. This guy is gone. And we gain a health when he leaves play. Man, I'm back at 14. Fight goes to the bottom. And then we're going to make Explorer crooked, allowing me to pump it up. And then we finish our turn with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. All right, next threat. Another Eremite. Dolomite is going to make me lose a token. Fortunately, he can be defeated with 3 Explorer. Draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to use this, kill him, and then we're going to get our influence. And then I found Blitz Bowl at Barnes and Nobles, and it's the most simplified Blood Bowl, but yeah, Blitz Bowl. Now I'm remembering that. At first, I thought you were talking about Final Fantasy X's Blitz Ball. I was like, wait, a Blitz Ball board game? What? How did I miss that? But no, Blitz Bowl. I know what you're talking about. That's and as a simplified Blood Bowl, I mean, Blood Bowl's insane, but also amazing game. I have a buddy who is like so into Blood Bowl in his native state of Florida. And he's like created this immense league and is so into Blood Bowl. But I know Blitz Bowl. I think I've actually had it in my collection at one point. It's an older game, right? I want to say that someone that was involved. I don't know the details on who was behind Blitz Bowl. All right, so I had to discard a token for this Eremite. Drew a card, so I got my hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to take on this Eremite here. Another one with 3 influence. This guy's simple. I've been able to take this on no problem. I swear, there have been harder games of this, but this is kind of easy here. And with my 7 cards, I'm just going to discard Memory of Home. Like this home, I love this bridge. This kind of reminds me in some ways of like a combination between, there we go. Like a combination of Peter Jackson's representation of Rivendell and Minas Tirith combined. Which I know Tristan Hall, from my few conversations with him, is an obsessed Tolkien head like me, which I wouldn't be surprised if even subconsciously that's some of the imagery that hopped into his head. A little bit of Moria in there too. You know, the Casa Doom. We got a little bit of the bridge there in which Gandalf fought the Balrog of Moria, you know, because the dwarves, they dug too greedily and too deep, you know. Okay, so we did our thing. We took him on, and we're going into our next round. All right, Key of Light. That's our last key, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to draw our card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just to make sure, we have 1, 2, 3 crazed souls, all defeated, all super crazy. And what are we going to do with this Key of Light? We need 8 explore. Well, good thing we got a stacked hand of plus 1 explore, plus 2 explore, and use an additional action thing here. So the way we're going to roll this is we're going to use the fight action for its draw card ability, shifting it down, thereby shifting explore up. Seraph is going to come up and say, hey, have some extra health. And using my additional action from Memory of Heart, which has some rather suggestive artwork. I mean, you can forgive a guy, I guess, for having some saucy imagery here. That's very, I mean, I guess it's a game all about dreams and the subconscious and that kind of stuff. You know, I don't have a problem with this because it does go in a lot of different directions, but that's definitely getting into like some slave Leia fantasy areas there. But it is a cool piece of artwork. But we're going to use an additional action. So now we can take 2 actions on our turn, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to discard 2 memories. Do I really want to do this? The escape is going to require 5 influence. Or 5 exploration. Let me rethink this. Because I don't want to put myself in a real bad situation here. Instead, we're going to pump... No, I still want to do that. Okay, so here, we're going to burn the Key of Sight for its +1 token onto here, and that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then discarding these 2 cards for 8. And that's going to swap this down, acquiring our last key, which has a draw memory ability and use 1 additional available action, and pump up our influence action just in case we need to take care of some stuff. And then we get a new nymph here. Discard 1 power token from our explore action, which we fortunately don't have to do. Yes, the tarot size cards having the verticality gives it almost a different like aspect ratio. The artwork isn't necessarily full bleed artwork in the sense that it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the card, but there's no borders around here, so it takes a lot of space here and gives it a really intense look. almost as if the artwork is kind of bleeding onto the table. It's not contained in like a magic card sense or anything. Being artwork that goes all the way to the edges gives it an incredible look. So I'm glad that you pointed that out, Dale. Okay, so we just flipped our nymph. We didn't have to discard anything. We're going to draw our card, which is another Seraph coming out to play, saying hello, have some health. And our portal is in play now. We have defeated all the bad guys. We've gotten our keys, and now we just need to figure out how to do an explore action that, given the current vignette, is 5. So how are we going to get 5 on there? And that's all the way at the bottom, which isn't a good situation. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our influence in order to draw a card. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then we're going to pump up our Explore. I'm going to take the 1 damage from the Nymph and then straighten these. Flip our last card of the deck, so the Archfiend would get mixed into all the bad stuff over there, the threats, in order to come back at me if I don't win it this turn. But I'm going to draw this card for the Memory of Might, and that's going to probably seal the deal. Even though none of the cards in my hand directly affect Explore, what I can do is I have a couple ways that I could do this. I can use my fight action to draw a card, sliding my Explore up, and then I'm going to turn my Key of Light in order to take an additional action, and then that's going to be 3, 4, and discard any 2 cards for their combined value, their lesser combined value, which is 1. That's 5, and that is my portal, which means, boom, we've won mission 3. Now, to close it out, we have here that upon defeat, we get to upgrade 1 additional memory. So normally you get to upgrade 1 memory, and then if there's any cool stuff on our vignette that it tells us that we get to do down here, then we get to do it. So in this case, we're going to upgrade 1 additional memory. So let's go ahead and do some cleanup, and we're going to do that and then close out this live stream, this second ever live play live stream. And I only got distracted for so long of it. And be proud of me, guys. We're making history here. Cardboard Herald history. All right, so we got our keys. Our keys need to go out because they're going to get separated differently. I'm going to have to pull all these bad nanners out of my deck because I integrated a lot of Seraphs and Pariahs into here. A lot of Seraphs and Kit Haringtons. Those guys. Did I miss anything in here? These are all memories. These are all memories. Okay, that's good to go. And then over here, another one. And another one. Okay. So my memory deck is going to be important as we do upgrades. I'm going to get my actions here. Yeah, woot! We did it. We did it. You were a part of this. Remember, when the wolves came, the Veil wolves came for the Cardboard Herald, you stood by. You said not today. And you made sure that we were able to take it on. Okay, and then let's see here. That's my memory and knowledge, and I started mixing in my memories at the very end up there. I'm going to pull out my Crazed Souls. Effectively, I'm just working on some organization stuff, but right now just bosses. I'm not going to bother you with actually putting it all back into the box. But we got our bad nanners, we got our keys, we got our bosses, we got our game state cards like the Archfiend and Portal, we got our vignettes, we got my action cards. All of my tokens can go back in the bag, and let's do some upgrades. Let's go ahead and get it all together. Okay. All right. Get these out of the way. Move on with our lives. How's 10:18 in the morning treating you, Krish? So basically, I can take any of these. I guess I didn't ask you, Dale. Where are you? What time zone are you? You don't have to get specific, and you don't even have to tell the truth because you're on the internet. Like there's no mandate that you have to. I mean, if you wanted to be like a decent person and not have me judge you, you tell the truth. But I'd have no way of knowing. So you could tell me you're in Timbuktu for all I know. But let's see here. We do not have to deal with that. We're going to deal with the upgraded memory. So, as I said earlier, there's this combined value at the bottom of memories, which is actually their level. That's representative of the level of memory that they are. And so I have this big old stack of memories here that is... let's get some, I don't know, that focus. I probably shouldn't bring things in front of the camera if I can't reliably do that. I got this big stack of memories here, and these guys are all my potential upgrades, and they're currently starting at level 2, and I can swap out level 1s for level 2s, but I have a couple of level 2s in my deck that I could start swapping out for these few level 3s that I have here, with the incredibly intense clown. Very upsetting card. Do not want in my deck because I do not want to look at a memory of confusion. To me, not a memory of confusion, memory of utter terror and despair and helplessness. Do not like looking at that clown. But all the rest of this, we got some good stuff. We got some Eyes Wide Shut, memories of Eyes Wide Shut. We got some memories of suggested swordplay and poison. Memory of murder, I guess. We got a few different options. So I got to look at things I want to take out of my deck and upgrade here. Just a couple upgrades. I do kind of like the idea of consistent things. Oh, we could be revisited. I could have the memory of heaven, which is our Seraph girl is back. I guess once again, I need to work on my focus tech. That looks to be the exact Seraph character revisiting in this memory. So that kind of lends credence. You don't lean credence. You don't have credence actually start falling over, but it lends credence to the idea that the memory acquisition in this is actually you gathering memories from the denizens that you're interacting with. I'm going to have to reread the theme stuff because I read it when I first got the game, but I haven't revisited it now, and I think I have a lot more context. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why this game came with this Veilwraith, which is like more appropriately dressed. I'm not making a moral judgment here. I'm not going to say what's appropriate or not appropriate. You do you. Whatever is appropriate for you is the appropriateness of a game. But Veiled Wraith is an alternative way to play with fully clothed models, or much more modestly portrayed models. And to the credit of this game, there's lots of nearly naked dudes and incubuses right alongside the succubuses. But this here, this angel, this is like Anson Maddox's Fallen Angel, Magic the Gathering style here of like, yeah, that is a classic fantasy lady in a potential death pose. It's just a classic look there, I guess, of women in endangered positions. But I'm not going to get all preachy here. Just interesting to come across. But again, it's evocative. The memory of sorrow, a fallen angel, is no matter what gendered angel it is, it's powerful imagery. Though it seems to be the feathers or the wings are still up. So to me, that implies that angel is not dead. I think that angel is crying. But but also pretty brutalized. Lots of bruises and cuts on that angel. So what can I do for upgrades? Ignore spirit costs, -2 threats this round. That memory of confusion is still very upsetting. And then let's see here. Dale, upgraded memory is that, like, when you tell a story and over and it gets better over time, maybe not the truth. Yeah, a little bit of like telephone. Eventually there's like these embellishments that maybe you make when telling a story that you end up misremembering because you have embedded the idea of something in your own memory of how that event actually happened, that you've adopted that. It's kind of like going back to Game of Thrones, the unreliable narrator, right? If you're into Game of Thrones, or maybe you're not, but there's a character, Sansa Stark, who she has a very specific event that happens at one of the earlier books in the second book, but that ends up resulting in her remembering that event later on in the book series. And later on in the book series, she remembers something that didn't actually happen in that chapter if you go back and read it. And it's very deliberate and it's very specific. And it's showing the kind of like the reality that we perceive and that we build upon ourselves is more potent than the actual like data and information floating around our brain. Like our emotions and our temperament warps the memories that we have. And maybe some of that psychological stuff is going on here. Or maybe Tristan Hall just wanted to make a game with dope angels and, Jon Snow fighting and stuff, and didn't really spend much time thinking about this. Okay, so I'm going to upgrade 2 memories. I like my level 2 memories right now. They're pretty powerful, so I don't want to drop them from my deck, so to speak. My level 2 memories are draw 2 memories each, which is really powerful and really helpful. There is a level 3 version of those memories. That's draw 3 memories, then discard 1 non-threat memory, which is pretty good. You got some scry capabilities in there, and I could work on continuing to upgrade them, but I'd rather upgrade all of my crappy memories. So I think as far as my level 2s, a few more level 2s down here. Memory of Fear. Any Veilwraith gains 1 spirit, or each Veilwraith. Well, this is a primary solo game. I'm not going to worry about that. And then we have any Veilwraith. Don't really care. Return a threat in play to the top of the threat deck. Now that is pretty powerful. And it gives me +1 to my influence action. Or the ignore spirit costs of -2 this round, and which is my health and the fight boosting. Or return a threat and play to the bottom of the threat deck, then remove this card from the game. Memory of Visions. That's also really powerful. Just something that you currently can't deal with. But eventually you're going to have to deal with it. But that could get you to keys faster, which is nice. Yeah, I'm going to get these Memories of Vision. We're going to banish cards to the bottom of the deck. That's what it's going to be. Oh, wait, we had these over here. The Memory of Locus. Use 1 additional action, then add 1 power token to any action. Getting rid of Memory of Heart. Or add 1 power token to a fight action. Getting 2 health. 2 health is pretty good. I really like this. Use 1 additional action, then move any 1 power token to any action. That's pretty good. It boxes the Memory of Heart, meaning that I have to get rid of the Memories of Heart that I already have in my deck. But I really like that because those are always going to be cards that I want to use. So if I'm always going to use them, then I might as well have a better version of them. I really like that. And it says add 1 power token to any action, which presumably could be that I can use put power tokens on already exhausted actions if I wanted to. I'm going to have to look at some of the timing to make sure that the action that is initially used, it says use an additional action, then add a power token to any other action. Can I then add that power token to the action that I'm just about to use? I don't think so, because I think I do one, then I do the other. So I would first take the action, the subsequent secondary action, and then after resolving that action, I would put the additional power token on. That's how I interpret that. But that did our upgrades. That's going to be everything. And I really appreciate everyone who popped onto the live stream to hang out. Patience at the beginning while we're getting things set up. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing this more. If you have recommendations for games that we could play solo on this live stream, I have some in mind. I was thinking Cartographers would be fun to play on here. More Veilwraith would be fun. I really enjoy this game and I want to finish out the campaign. And then I have a load of other games that I could play solo, and I have Nemo's War coming in, so I'll definitely be getting that onto some live streams as I adapt to this and learn and become stronger and mightier and evolve into my cardboard heraldy singularity. So once again, thank you particularly to Krish and Dale for interacting and hanging out, and you guys all have a great rest of your night, or in the case of Krish, the morning. Take care, everyone.